Hello. As you all know, last week the college's Board of Trustees voted to decrease in-state tuition from $5,157 to $4,808 for the spring semester. This action was taken during a special session meeting and was a response to the South Carolina Budget and Control Board's moratorium on all building projects for institutions that increased tuition over 7% from the previous year's level. Because the college raised tuition 14.7% this year, action was necessary to remove the moratorium. This cut comes at a critical time for you and your families as you pay tuition. No one wants to pay high tuition, and this is something I understand. As students currently in the South Carolina higher educational system, we all want to pay the least amount of tuition dollars possible while receiving the highest quality education and college experience. We love the College of Charleston for all that it offers us, and we want for it to be the best institution it can be for the students that will pass through its doors in years to come. Now more than ever, it is so important that we as a student body understand why our tuition is on the rise and we know what we can do about it. This is a defining moment in our college's history, and it is a time for us to come together and assure those that come after us will have the opportunity to come to the same amazing institution we all attend today. Over the last few years, there has been a very troubling trend in South Carolina. Our state has been dramatically decreasing its appropriations to its higher educational system. In fiscal year 2008, the state allocated $758 million for higher education. Next year, that number is estimated to fall to $421 million. As for the college, 16.7% of our budget was state funded in 2008. Today, that number is down to 8.5%. To put those numbers in perspective, South Carolina was giving more money to higher education in fiscal year 1986. However, the state today has roughly 86% more students in its higher educational system. 156,000 students currently, compared to 85,000 students in 1986. If we then take into account inflation rates, it is no wonder why our schools are struggling to make ends meet. These numbers are very troubling. The University of Georgia is allocated more money from the state of Georgia than all the schools are allocated in South Carolina combined. The state of North Carolina spends 5 times more money per student than South Carolina, and Georgia spends 4 times more money per student than our state. The college's tuition was raised to make up for inflationary adjustments, the lack in state funding, and the college's strategic plan, which was created to better the institution for us and students that will come after us. Without state funding, it is very difficult for the college to advance itself without increasing tuition. We all want for our degrees to mean the most they can when we graduate, but that will not happen without a significant investment in our college. The state has been making dangerous decisions that have real implications for our student body here at CFC. While about 9% of the increase in the college's in-state tuition went towards making up for inflation and the reduction in state funding, we were asked to reduce it to a 7% increase. This means the college has less money than it did last year to spend on you because of the actions taken by our state. Today, the college's tuition is the 6th highest in the state. Tuition does not have to increase for our school to get better, but state funding does have to remain in place. If nothing is done and the state continues to decrease its support, these institutions will be out of reach for our grandchildren and children who want to attend your alma mater. It is time that the state hears from the students it is leaving behind. It is time our legislators stop speaking for us and we speak for ourselves. This is why your SGA has been vocal about the lose-lose situation the state put us in with the moratorium it placed on building projects. We do not want to see tuition go any higher, which is why we have directed our efforts in informing our legislators in Columbia that we do not accept the lack of funding going towards our schools. In the coming weeks and months, there will be multiple opportunities for us all to get involved and input our voices in this larger discussion. In the meantime, I encourage you to contact your legislator and voice your opinions regarding our tuition and the state's support of higher education as a whole. Our representatives from Columbia are claiming that they are making these decisions on your behalf. I ask that you let them know if they are actually doing so. I encourage you to visit scstatehouse.com to find out who your legislators are in South Carolina and to voice your opinions to them. Thank you for taking the time to view this video address today and get updated on the very important challenges facing the College of Charleston and its students at present. The SGA will continue to be considering these issues as the year moves forward, and please get in contact with me if you have any comments or suggestions. Visit sga.cfc.edu for more information and my contact information. Thank you.